This is perfect for those cold winter days. Melt in your mouth beef, swimming in a creamy curry, served with a steaming hot plate of rice. This is what I call comfort food. Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Dude is behind the camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. Can you believe Christmas is now over? Unbelievable. And now we're heading into 2022. So Happy New Year to all of you. We're making a creamy curry beef today. And the beef that I'm using is called finger meat. I've used this cut before. It's essentially the meat that is kind of behind all the ribs, and it comes in a long piece, about this long, and I've just cut them up and I have already parboiled them. You know that I can't be bothered with a lot, but parboiling your meat will make your dish actually taste better. And parboiling just means bring a pot of water to boil and put in your meat, bring it back up to a boil and let it boil for about 5 minutes, and then just drain it and rinse it. When you're parboiling, you'll see all the gunk and impurities that kind of float, and scum basically, floating to the top, and that's what you want to get rid of. I'm using a 6-quart pressure cooker today, turning the saute mode on. We're just going to heat that up, and we're going to start with frying up some of our aromatics. I'm using 1 ounce of ginger that I'm going to slice up, and one of these sizes is about half an ounce. It's about the thumb size, right?
Depending on whose thumb you're talking about.
Or how about a big swollen thumb? I'm just going to cut them up into about, well, 4 slices each. And I'm using 2 stalks of green onion that I'm just going to cut up into about 2-inch pieces. And we're just waiting for our pot to heat up. I'm adding a tablespoon of canola oil. You can use vegetable oil. You can use whatever oil you like, except maybe not olive oil. Adding all my ginger. We're just going to fry that up for about a minute or 2 until they're fragrant. I find with this particular pressure cooker that everything goes to the side. It must be like sloped down. It's not really flat at the bottom. All right, after about a minute, add your green onions. Fry that up for a little bit. I'm also using a tablespoon of chihao paste, and this is really worth getting. I always keep a jar in my fridge. Did I say 1 tablespoon? I meant 2. Chihao paste is like a bean paste that has a lot of spices and stuff in it, and it's better to just buy the paste than trying to figure out how to make it on your own. So you just want to fry this up until it's like super fragrant. About a minute. And then I'm going to add my meat. So because I'm using finger meat today, but you can definitely use brisket, stew meat. Stew meat won't be as tender. That's why I really like this particular cut. And you can also use like a boneless short rib. Once you cut it down to like 1.5, 2-inch pieces. You want the meat to be completely covered with the sauce. So make sure you stir this well. Just adding a tablespoon of Shaoxing wine. And just burn off that alcohol. And Shaoxing wine is just a cooking wine. You can find it in most Asian markets. And if you don't have Shaoxing wine, you can either omit it, or you can use another cooking rice wine. A dry sherry works really well. We've been known to use bourbon in the past, and that also makes it tasty. Totally up to you. Okay, adding a cup of water, hot water. I'm just going to scrape the bottom, make sure that there aren't any bits at the bottom. You don't want your pot freaking out. Adding a small chunk of rock sugar. And rock sugar helps to make the meat more tender. I'm just going to stick that to the bottom. Well, that's what They tell me anyways, ancient Chinese secret. If you don't have rock sugar, you can just add a couple of teaspoons of regular sugar. Okay, putting the lid on. Locking it into place. Making sure the sealing knob is on sealing. And let's cancel the saute. And we're gonna cook it for 20 minutes on high pressure. All right, that's step one. This is a Hong Kong style beef curry. It's not like a Thai curry or like an Indian curry. It's kind of different on its own. And the flavor will depend on what kind of curry powder you guys choose to use. So in my research, I've learned that the reason why this curry is so good in the restaurants is because they cook it in kind of a two-step process. So right now we are kind of partially cooking the beef, infusing it with the flavors that we've added, and then we're gonna make the curry the second part. So while that's cooking, I am gonna prepare the rest of the ingredients. I have 4 shallots, this was 1, that I'm just going to cut up. I also have, I wanna say like 6 cloves of garlic, but there seems to be a little bit more, but they're little. You can use as little or as much as you want. I'm just gonna chop that up. Okay, you can just add that to your shallots because that's all going in at the same time. I also have 1 large onion that I'm just gonna cut up into chunks. And that's it for that. I also have 6 potatoes. I guess they're kind of like medium small. I'm just gonna peel them and get them ready to go. Okay, and I'm just gonna cut the potatoes in half. We're gonna leave them big because we're gonna pressure cook them again, and we don't want the potatoes to,
disintegrate.
Yeah, disintegrate is a good word. Okay, once the cooking is done for your beef, quick release the pressure. Gets me every time. All right, we're gonna see what we have here. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. Mind you, it's not curry yet, but it is quite yummy looking. I'm gonna scoop out the meat. So the meat's not quite done. Remember, we're gonna cook it a little bit longer. We're gonna pour the rest of the liquid into a measuring cup. Guess I didn't need a big, huge measuring cup. Okay, we're firing up the pot again, turning on saute. I had forgotten that this cut of meat is really fatty, so I'm gonna skim some of the fat, about maybe a tablespoon or so. I'm gonna put it back in the pot to get my onions going. Cook that for a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, I am gonna skim this fat. We don't need all of it. Okay, we're gonna add our shallots and garlic now. We're just gonna cook this for another minute or so until all the garlic and shallot is fragrant. Adding 3 tablespoons of curry powder. And I'm just using this curry powder. You can use whatever one that you like. 1 tablespoon of turmeric. Stir this up. Just cook this up a little bit. Okay, while the spices are going, I'm going to put 4 bay leaves. I'm using a disposable tea bag. I like using these for my spices that I don't want to pick out. So 4 bay leaves, 2 star anise, and 1 cinnamon stick. It's all going in here, everything inside. And I'm gonna put that in after I mix my meat around. I'm going to take my ginger out. Oops. Okay, putting the meat in. Here it is. You want to stir the curry into the meat. Okay, adding a tablespoon of the Shaoxing wine. Use it to scrape up the bottom of the pot to deglaze it a little bit. Adding the liquid back in. Make sure that bottom is clean because you don't want your pot to give you an overheat or burned message. Okay, and now we're going to add our potatoes back in, or our potatoes in, not back in. Just make sure that some of this curry sauce is over your potatoes. Sticking your spice pack, kind of just put that in the middle. Cancel. Okay. Put your lid on, lock it into place, making sure your sealing knob is on sealing manual. 15 minutes on high pressure. All right, it's gonna be so good. Right, quick releasing. Ah, I got spit on. All right, let's check it out. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. Smells so good. All right, we're almost done here. Turning the saute mode back on because we need to add the coconut milk and we want to heat it through. So you can add as little or as much as you want. If you don't want to add the coconut milk, you don't even have to do this part. But why wouldn't you? Don't waste the cream. Because you all know I can't be bothered and I love coconut in my curry. So I'm gonna use the whole thing. But you can, like I said, you can use as little or as much as you like. And we're gonna heat this through. All right, we're gonna add our salt. Maybe about a teaspoon. And about a tablespoon of soy sauce. Just light soy. Give that a stir. Right, let's get some into a bowl. All right, guys, are you ready?
Mm-hmm. The taste. You know, this咖哩牛腩, this curry beef on rice is a gold standard at HK style cafes. And when it comes out, it's like piping hot and the aromas are just like surrounding you. And you just want to get a whole spoonfuls of it into your rice, which is right here. And in this case, the finger meat, I'm looking forward to that. Potatoes, and there's some bits of onion that haven't been completely pulverized by the pressure cooker. Surrounded, swimming in sauce. Going for the perfect bite. Hope for no burned tongue. Hot, creamy. Beef is tender. The layering of flavors and the spices. Not spicy, just really rich flavors. You can make this more spicy with some tongue-numbing hot chili oil. Should I get some? Okay. If you guys haven't seen it, this chili oil was used to almost kill me on the dan dan noodle recipe video. It's pretty crazy chili in that it numbs the tongue, but it's not like ultra hot. Anyways, I'm gonna just dab a little bit here. Maybe just, oh boy. I did burn my tongue, guys. It's okay, I'll live. Zing. Wow, nice pop of flavor. Totally optional as a condiment for those who like it more heaty, more spicy, and pretty good complementary flavor. But otherwise, so much good flavor here. You just want to drown the rice with sauce and just revel in it.
Awesome, thanks, dude. This may not be Dude's favorite dish to order in a Hong Kong style cafe, but it is one of mine. And when I do order it, he does take a bite. For more recipes with chi hao paste, check it out. I'll see you over there.